Hi, beautiful students who I miss so dearly. Now, we are back with creating two-way tables. We are still investigating, analyzing, creating, interpreting all those beautiful words describing two variables. In the last video, we were reading two-way tables. In this video, we are actually going to be creating them, making them. So, I've snipped a few problems that are similar to the ones you're going to be doing on Khan Academy, and we're going to practice solving them together. All right? Two-way tables aren't just a breeze, so you actually need to make sure you guys are actively watching these videos, paying attention. I don't expect you to write down all the sentences, but you can write down important information, draw your Venn diagram, draw a table, okay? Just like we were in class, guys. You're held accountable for this material next year. So we're still doing the 8th grade standard from statistics 1.4. All right, we're on page 63. I put in my table of contents, page 63, creating two-way tables. So we have a veterinarian asked each of her 18 patrons. So 18. Total, she asked 18. That's important. So I'm going to write that. Total equals 18. She surveyed 18 people. She asked all 18 of them, do they have a dog? She also asked each patron if they have a cat. Okay, so we can see in our Venn diagram the data that she collected. Have a dog, have a cat. Pretty sure in the past you guys have also seen Venn diagrams, hopefully in your language arts classes, because you can compare and contrast two stories. So we're going to actually create our two-way table from this. Have a dog and have a cat. Those are the two different variables that we're going to be analyzing. So those are our two titles. Have a dog, or have dog, and where's my red? Have cat. And do it the same color as theirs. Have, Miss Fry just messed up. Okay. My bad. Okay, up here. Have cat. All right. So in this column, right here where I have my mistake, that's for people that have both a dog and a cat. Okay? What if you don't have a dog? That's the other option. So don't have a dog or no dog. What if you don't have a cat? Okay, some of you guys might have both. Some of you guys might have a dog or a cat. Or some of you guys might have neither. I have neither personally. So let's see. The Venn diagram in the middle, that's people, see how it's both red and blue? It's in the red circle and it's in the blue circle. So these people have a cat and they also have a dog. They're in the middle. They overlap. So they have a cat and they have a dog. 7 people have both a cat and a dog. Right off the bat, this one should be easy to put in. The middle one, that's the variable that's the people that have both variables, a cat and a dog. And then this 0 right there, they're outside of the circles. They have neither. That's where I would go. So I would change that to a 1 for Miss Fry. But it's a 0 in this survey. Which makes sense, because why would a vet, if she's asking her clients, why would she want to have a client if they didn't have I guess she could, but maybe she was. See, to me, I was like, okay, you don't talk to vets. Like, vets don't have patients that don't have dogs or cats, but that's not true, because they could have, a bunny, an iguana, elephant. So, have both cats and dogs, 7. Have neither is the 0. Now, this is when it gets a little bit more tricky to me. This 6 right here, that is in the red circle, but it's not touching the blue. The red circle, they have a cat, but they don't have a dog. They're not in the blue. They just have cats. So have cat, no dog, right here. 6 people have a cat, do not have a dog. Okay? This 5 right here, where do you think it's going to go? You might be like, oh, it's going to go in the blank spot. But does that make sense to you? Why is it going to go in the blank spot? These 5 people have a dog. They're in the blue circle. That's have a dog. Excuse me. They're not in the red circle. They're not touching the cat circle. So they have a dog, but they do not have a cat. So let's look at these numbers. 7, 6, 5, and 0. Let's add those up. 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 5 more, 18. Plus 0 is 18. Total, we have 18 people surveyed. And that's exactly what they told us. Total, we have 18. We had people that have a cat. 7 plus 6, 13 people have a cat. 5 plus 0 do not have a cat. So 13 people have a cat out of those 18. 5 do not have a cat out of those 18. Okay, what if we did the other totals? How many people have a dog? Don't even talk about the cats. How many people total have a dog? 7 plus 5. Both the 5 and the 7, they're in the blue circle. 7 plus 5, 12 people have a dog, which means 12 plus what is 18? 6 people better have no dog. Yep, 6 people do not have a dog. All right, so we just created our two-way table about cats and dogs. Now, the next problem, they gave you the table. We're just going to practice actually filling it in. So we're still going to create it, but they gave us the titles. So Stan took 25 classes during college. That's so important because they're telling us the total right there. So it's easy to see if you made a mistake if your 4 numbers in these boxes don't add up in total to 25. The Venn diagram below shows classes Stan studied for. Classes Stan passed. Classes Stan both studied for and passed, or neither. So those are all 4 options. The blue circle, let's look at it. These are classes that he studied for. Okay, some of them he passed. Some of them maybe he didn't pass. The red circle, those are classes that he passed. Try to fill in the two-way table on your own. So pause the video. Try to fill it in. So right off the bat, Miss Fry, I see the 12. In the Venn diagram, it's overlapping. That means he studied for it. It's in the studied for circle, and it's in the passed circle. So he studied for and passed 12 classes. Studied for the class, passed the class. 12. And then I immediately look at the number outside. Those don't fall in either circle. So, studied for? No, he didn't. He did not study for. So find did not study for. Okay, did not study for. He also did not pass. So, he has 11 classes that he didn't study for, and then he didn't pass. That's honestly an astronomical number of classes in college to not pass. Like, you would think you'd get your act together or you'd be kicked out by then. So that's pretty crazy. So the overlap always goes for the yes for both variables. Yes studied, yes passed. Because those are the 2 titles that we're having in our Venn diagram. The outside is did neither. Did not study, did not pass. Okay? Now let's actually look. We have this 0 in the blue circle. The blue circle is studied for. So there are 0 classes that he studied for and did not pass because it's not touching the pass circle. So 0 classes that he studied for, it's in the studied for circle, but it's not in the past. So if he didn't pass it, that means if he's not in the pass circle, that means he did not pass. So studied for, yes. Okay, so we're in this column. We're not in the pass circle, so did not pass. So right here, 0 classes that we studied for and did not pass, which is good. If you study for classes, you should pass them. That means out of all the classes that he studied for, he passed. He passed 12 of them. He did not pass 0. All right, let's look at the red circle. There's 2 that stand past. Okay, so we're in the past row. Passed. 2 that he passed, but did he study for? No, he's not in the studied for circle. So 2 that he passed, but did not study for. So passed, we're in the past row. Studied for, no, we're not in the study for. So passed, did not study for, right here, that's the overlap. 2. So our table has 12, 2, 0, and 11. That better totaled to 25. 12 plus 2 is 14, plus 11 more, 24, 25. Yes, it does. So therefore, that even helps us check that this is accurate. Obviously, you could switch the numbers and it would still total to 25, but that's at least one more step to hopefully help you know that you're in the right direction. So that is creating two-way tables from Venn diagrams. Now we're going to just practice creating them when we have the information given to us. So still, in your guys' notebooks, I want you to be creating these tables with me. You can jot down the key facts that they gave us, or you can just practice creating the two-way tables and just know if you got it, you got it. Still, guys, take ownership of your learning. So let's look at how we are going to create our two-way table for the bivariate data. Jonas knows the following information about the 19 members. 19, our total is 19. Okay, total is 19. So he knows this information about the 19 members in his travel group. 5 members have been to both the US and Australia. So 5 have been to both US and Australia. Okay, well, let's look at our table. Have been to the United States, have not been to the United States. Well, these 5 people have been to both, so we're in the have been to column. Have been to Australia, have not been to Australia. They've been to both, so they've been to Australia and they've been to the United States. 5. So 5 people have been to the United States, have been to Australia. And right off the bat, total, I know they don't have the total row and column for you. But guys, that doesn't mean you can't create it on your own. Oops, let me zoom out. I also know Khan Academy lets you write on the screen, okay? You can modify these tables. So we know that total, we have 19 people surveyed. 19. I'm going to do that because that's going to help me check it. All right, next, 11 members, so 11. 11 in total, okay, have been to the United States, been to US. So have been to the United States, let's find that. Have been to the United States. Okay, so that's a column. Have been to the United States. So 11 members total. So if the total is 11 for people that have been to the US, and we already know that 5 of those people have been to Australia and the US. So what are we going to put there? Hopefully in your head you thought 6, even if you don't understand it, but hopefully you thought 6. 6. Because 5 plus 6 gives us our total of 11. So what that means is 5 people have been to both US and Australia. 6 have been to the US but not Australia. So total, we have 5 plus 6, 11 people that have been to the United States, regardless if they've gone to the Australia. We don't care about that. All this one tells us about is if they've gone to the United States. Okay, let's read our last clue. 12 members total. When it says total, you're going to be in one of the margins. It's called marginal frequency. Because frequency, how many? Margins, marginal, you're in that margins. Think about the margin on your paper. Okay, they say don't write outside the margin. That's the red lines outside of it. So margins were on the outside. 12 members in total have been to Australia. Let's find that. Have been to Australia. So that's a row. We're going sideways. Okay, so 12 members total. Margin. I almost said margarine, but that's butter. 12 members total have been to Australia. So this needs to add up to 12 total. Well, 5 have been to Australia and the US. So how many have been to Australia but not the US then? 5 plus what is 12? Well, 12 minus 5 is 7, so that means 7. 7. 5 plus 7 equals 12. 5 plus 7 equals 12. Okay, but that's all they gave us. So how are we going to find the people that haven't been to either? What do you think? Well, this is when you have to use the margins, the total, the marginal frequency to help you. So let's talk about it. We know that total, 12 people have been to Australia. And total in the whole survey, we have 19 members surveyed. 12 plus what is 19? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 7. So that means 7 people total. Let's see, what's this row? Have not been to Australia. 7 people total. Well, we have 6 that haven't been to Australia but have been to the US. So 6 plus what is 7? 1. That means there's 1 person that hasn't been to either. Well, let's double check that. We know here that the total is 19. We have 11 people that have been to the US. 11 plus what is 19? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 19 minus 11, 8. Does 7 plus 1 add up to 8? Yes, it does. So that's how we can check that 1 is right. So, in your assignments, you're not going to have to fill in the totals. You're just going to have to fill in those 4 numbers, and you can add them up. You can do 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 more is 12, plus 7 more is 19, and that adds to 19. The totals, they help you though. They help you do the math and work backwards. These ones are pretty difficult, guys. So be patient. You're going to mess up sometimes, and that's okay. Okay? Use your resources, use your hints, use your videos, use me, use your anything that you can, your notes. Contact me if you're struggling and you have questions about this, even if it's just a minor question. All right, let's do our last one. I recommend pausing the video and just attempting it on your own. How would you do? Attempt it. Okay, so pause the video right now. Curdy knows, who is Curdy? Curdy knows the following information from a study on cold medicine that included 60 participants. Okay, so 60 is the total. That's important. 60 is total. So right off the bat, I'm going to put 60 here. So I know that's the total. Total adds up to 60. Okay. 30 participants in total. 30 participants in total. In total means it's going to be one of the total rows or columns. It's going to be in the margin. Okay, so 30 participants in total received cold medicine. Received cold medicine, okay. But total, so 30 in total received cold medicine. 26 participants in total. 26 in total. In total, again, means it's going to be one of these columns. Had a cold that lasted longer than 7 days. Cold lasted longer than 7 days, so that's a row. 26 in total. Okay, had a cold that lasted longer. So right off the bat, it's easy for us to figure out these other totals. 26 plus what number equals 60? Well, you can either figure it out by counting up, or I personally just do 60 minus 26. That tells me there's 34 left over. So 34 total did not have a cold that lasted longer than 7 days. And you guys know that. If I said, hey, I surveyed or interviewed 60 people, 26 had a cold longer than a week. How many of them didn't have a cold longer than the week? Well, you'd be like, okay, well, how many are left? 60 minus 26, that leaves 34 that had a cold less than a week. All right, let's do the same thing. 30 total received cold medicine out of 60. So how many didn't receive cold medicine? Well, if 30 out of 60 received it, then the other 30, the other half, didn't receive it, because 30 plus 30 equals 60. So we have our totals, we have our margins, but we haven't filled in any of the boxes that we have to fill in for our two-way table. 14 participants received cold medicine. So I'm going to already put that. Where's received cold medicine? Right here. So 14 received cold medicine, but had a cold that lasted longer than 7 days. Cold lasted longer than 7 days, right here. So where do these two overlap? Well, this is the row. This is the column, and this is the row. So right here, this is where the 14 goes. Because these 14 had cold medicine, but still, their cold lasted longer than 7 days. Maybe they got the Rona. Sorry, that wasn't a funny joke. Sorry. Okay, so 14 received cold medicine and had a cold that lasted longer than 7 days. Okay. That's all the information they gave us. Well, actually, all that they gave us was... what did they give us? They gave us 30, 26, 14. They didn't give us these two. We figured those two out. They gave us the 26, 60, 30, and 14. So we have to figure out the rest, but we have the totals. So it's just working backwards. So we have 30 people total that received cold medicine. Well, 14 had a cold longer than a week. So how many had a cold less than a week? Well, out of those 30, if we already have 14 that had it longer, how many had it less? 30 minus 14, 16. I mean, 16 had it less than a week, because 14 plus 16 is 30. Okay, but Miss Fry, how are we going to add these up? They're just both 15, right? Because 15 plus 15 is 30? No. No one said that they have to be exactly the same. So maybe we can't do the column here. We're going to have to do it sideways, do the row. Cold lasted longer than 7 days, so it lasted longer than a week. 26 people total had a cold that lasted longer than 7 days. Well, out of those 26, 14 received cold medicine. So how many out of those 26 did not receive cold medicine? 26 minus 14. 26 minus 14, 12. Because 14 plus 12 equals 26. So that means 14 received cold medicine and it lasted longer than a week. 16 received cold medicine and it wiped it out. It went away less than a week. 12 didn't receive cold medicine and their cold lasted longer than a week. So how many didn't receive cold medicine and their cold went away shorter than a week? There's 3 different ways that you can do this. You can do 12 plus what number equals 30? Well, we know it's 18 because 30 minus 12 is 18. You could do it not the column way and the row way. 16 plus what number equals 34? Well, 34 minus 16 is 18. So that confirms that it's 18. Okay. Or you could do, we know the total is 60 for these 4 boxes. We already have 14, 16, and 12. 14 plus 16 plus 12. We already have 42 out of the 60 people counted for. So 60 minus 42 better be 18. It is. So there's numerous ways that you could do this 18. Doesn't matter which way. You could say, hey, all 4 of these better total to the 60. You could add them up column-wise. 12 plus 18 is 30. Or you could add them up row-wise. 16 plus 18 is 34. So, guys, creating two-way tables for me and frequency tables that tell you how frequently it happens, they're more difficult for me. I'm just going to be honest. They are. So don't get frustrated, okay? This is 8th grade stuff. You're going to be practicing this and seeing this next year too. Okay, so be patient. Take your time. Ask for help when you need it. Maybe this is easy for you. Maybe you're good with statistics and this is a breeze. Great. Either way, just know that now you guys know how to create two-way tables better than you did before you watched this video. And you better have an understanding of how to compare, analyze, describe, interpret, and let me think of one more fancy word. Create, that's not even a fancy word. Tables that help show bivariate data or data with 2 variables. Ask me for help if you need it. Okay, you guys now have enough information to do creating two-way tables on Khan Academy.